Welcome to this presentation on GCSE Media Studies, and we study the EDUCAS exam syllabus. Let's first of all focus on the course structure and focus on the media frameworks. The study of media is underpinned by 4 frameworks, which basically means 4 key areas that we need to focus on when we look at a media product, and these are media language, representation, audience and industry. But what do these actually mean? Media language is basically how a media product, for example a video game, communicates its meaning to the audience, and this can be through the use of colour, the use of sound, camera, lighting, costume, font, facial expressions of the characters, lighting, to name but a few. Let's look at an example. Welcome to Media Studies. What's communicated about media studies here? Well, it's a fun font, it's a fun pink outline, quite a friendly and approachable impression of media studies is created here. What about now? The font and colour choices create quite a different impression of media studies. Representation. These are the messages that a media product sends out about a person, a group of people, a place or an event. Let's look at an example. Here are the newspaper front pages of the Mirror and the Sun the day after the UK decided to leave the European Union. As you can see, quite different messages about that decision and about that vote are communicated through the 2 different newspaper front pages. What about industry? This is when we look at the media industry. We are looking at the organisations and businesses that produce the media. This is important because it can help us to understand why a media product might choose to communicate certain messages. Here's Rupert Murdoch, who owns The Sun. By looking at his politics, we can start to understand why The Sun chose to represent the Brexit decision in the way that it did. What about audience? This is when we look at the following: who the target audience is for a media product, how the media product has targeted the audience, in other words, made it more likely that the target audience will read it, watch it, play it or listen to it. We'll also look at how audiences are grouped. Are they grouped by age, by gender or by interests? And we'll also look at how different audience members might respond differently to the ideas and messages being sent out by the media product. Assessment in media studies is the following. Component 1 is a 1 hour 30-minute written exam worth 35% of the final grade. Component 2 is a 1 hour 30-minute written exam worth 35% of the final grade. And component 3 is a non-examined assessment worth 30% of the final grade. What media products will we study in year 10? Okay, so we'll study the front covers of 2 magazines, as you can see here. We'll study film marketing by looking at these 2 different film posters. We'll study the front covers of 2 newspapers, The Guardian and The Sun. We'll study print adverts, one of them a 1950s advert, as you can see by the one on the left. We'll study gaming in the form of Fortnite. And we'll also study the Radio 4 soap opera, The Archers. We'll also in Year 10 be looking at the NEA component and studying and completing this. So this is the practical task where students will be given the opportunity to create their own media product in response to a brief that has been set by the exam board. This will give students the opportunity to work with a variety of hardware and software in order to develop their media production skills. Now, the non-examined assessment could be print-based, such as print adverts, or audio-visual, such as a television advert. And don't worry, students will be taught how to use the hardware and software that is necessary to help them complete the NEA media product successfully. What about Year 11? What will we be studying in Year 11? Okay, so we'll study music video in the form of Bruno Mars's Uptown Funk and Katy Perry's Raw. We'll also study television comedy in the form of The IT Crowd. And obviously, also in Year 11, there'll be a lot of time given over to improving NEA components and to the revision and to also practising exam skills. What key skills will you develop in media studies? Well, the set products will allow you to develop the following skills that are totally transferable to other areas of the curriculum: analytical skills, evaluative skills, and you'll also develop knowledge that is transferable to other subjects, such as understanding the political makeup of Britain and how this influences the media. In terms of the practical production, component 3, you'll develop skills in organisation and planning, teamwork, And you'll also develop your ability to use media production software such as film and editing software. What about future destinations? GCSE Media Studies can help you to progress in the following ways. It can be one of your GCSEs that helps you progress into sixth form or college to study subjects of your choice. It can also help you to progress into sixth form to study Level 3 BTEC Creative Digital Media Production, which is an A-level equivalent and which is offered at Abbott Bain. It can help you to progress onto a post-16 apprenticeship, and in particular, the time management and teamwork skills developed during the completion of the NEA will be particularly useful here. Finally, what about wider enrichment opportunities? These could include trips to a variety of media-focused destinations such as the British Board of Film Classification in London, the BBC and the National Media Museum in Bradford. And within school, enrichment activities will include a weekly film viewing club, opportunities to take part in media production competitions, a weekly film production club, and participation in Interfilm's annual film festival. Thank you very much for listening.